Hey moviegoers, this is the Movie Critic and welcome back to another movie review. Today the movie I'm going to be reviewing is the newest sci-fi epic, Dune. And oh my goodness, what a movie that is. Before I get into the video, I promised that I was going to be posting non-stop and that I was gonna be doing all of this back in September. I think it was August, but a lot of stuff has happened like those past few months. School has started and I wasn't able to post videos as much as I wanted to, and I got lazy, but also was focusing on schoolwork, and I'm still focusing on schoolwork right now, but I kind of have a little bit of time to actually film things like these, especially for big movies like Dune. And I just want to first off say that I apologize. I can't promise that I'll post back as usual as I used to, although I really didn't post as much back then, but I can promise you that I will post videos whenever I can, and that's a promise. But I'm sorry, and I'm back for this video. Miss you guys. Before I get into the video, make sure to smack the like button, and if you enjoy my content, make sure, if you haven't already, to subscribe and hit the notification bell on the side to get information on videos in the near future. If you want to support my channel, you can share the link, share the channel, share the video to any social media platform. It would really help me a lot. I would really appreciate it. Now that I got that out of the way, let's get into this brief review of Dune. And action! The movie Dune is, I'm not going to actually have a little summary for this movie because I want you guys to actually do your own research for it yourself. Okay, I'll give a little summary. Dune is a movie that is based on a book by the same name of Dune, and it follows this boy named Paul as he is a son of a duke who is over this house called the House of Atreides, and they now have custody over this planet that's like a desert-like planet called Arrakis, aka Dune. That's what other people call it. And they go to the planet, and a lot of stuff happens, especially to Paul, especially to the family. I won't spoil what happens, but a lot of stuff does happen politically and climatically, but it is something else. I have been keeping track of the book Dune. I'm familiar with it. I remember first hearing about it from PewDiePie when he had read it one time for one of his book reviews, and I remember a lot of people saying that the book kind of had a lot of elements that Star Wars kind of stole, that this movie inspired movies like Star Wars or Game of Thrones. A lot of people, when they think of Dune, they think of Game of Thrones in space, which I haven't read the book myself. I have the collection, I just never picked it up and I never read it. But after seeing this movie, I think I actually am. Let's get into the things that I liked about the movie. The first thing that I really want to talk about is the cinematography. The director for this movie was, I forgot his first name, but I think his last name starts with a V, Villeneuve. He's done movies like Blade Runner 2049, and I've seen the movie, and it is really stunning. And he did a really, really great job with the cinematography in this film. You can really be taken aback by the atmosphere that he tried to set. Because A lot of people didn't really think that it would be possible for a movie such as Dune to be made into, a book such as Dune to be made into a movie. But you can really see that Villeneuve, whatever his name is, he really wanted to take out time to try to take information from the book and put it in the movie and try to set it up as much as he could in a cinematic experience. And he really had the viewers really feel as if they were in the world with all of the beautiful sights of the deserts and the places that Paul might have visited along the way where he is. And it's just really breathtaking. Another thing that I really liked about the movie is that I liked the sound mixing and the sound effects of the film. It was just ear orgasmic. It was really beautiful on the ears. Just hearing all the different sounds of the sand and the different whatever might happen, like explosions or something like that. It just sounds really beautiful, and I really wish that I saw this movie in IMAX, but I just wanted to see the movie earlier as I could, so I could get the movie review out earlier as I could during the window where it's still relevant, because movies come and go. But I'm pretty sure this movie is going to be talked about for a couple of weeks because it's really good. But like I said, the sound is orgasmic, and if you can go see it in IMAX. I've heard a lot of great things about the movie in IMAX, and although I can't really say that it's good in IMAX, I suggest that if you can, go watch the movie in IMAX and get a really good cinematic experience and a good sound experience. Okay, speaking of sound, another thing that I really liked was the score. Hans Zimmer always delivers when it comes to the score. Hans Zimmer is one of the best composers, hands down, when it comes to movies. And I remember when Tenet came out, and when Ludwig Göransson was over the score for Tenet, and everybody was like, "Where's Hans Zimmer?" And Hans Zimmer was saying he's not going to be doing the score for Tenet. He's going to be doing the score for Dune, and everybody was kind of bittersweet about it. But Ludwig Göransson held it down on Tenet. The Tenet score is phenomenal, but I would say that Hans Zimmer is beautiful, guys. It's really beautiful. It sent chills down my spine. It was that good. He's great at his craft. That's all I can say. That's all I can say about Hans Zimmer. Hans Zimmer, you the man. You the man. But yeah, the music was great. The sound was great. The cinematography was great. The story was also a really good part of the film. As I have heard, this is Dune Part 1, so there's might be a second part to the film. And this is where I might get into a little bit of spoiler territory. I don't know, but if you feel as if what I'm about to say might harm your experience on the movie, then I advise you to probably just skip to the verdict at the end. Just skip to the verdict, because I don't want you guys to be spoiled by this or spoiled. But as I was saying, the story, it really helps build the world of Arrakis, and it helps let the characters know what they're in for as the story goes along. As I said, this movie is split into 2 parts. I'm pretty sure you guys probably might have saw interviews where Villeneuve probably said something about how this is only part 1, because the book itself is really in depth. It has so many pages, and it's split into parts as well. So I really appreciate the director for actually fleshing it out and not trying to rush it as much as he could, and having it be in 1 part and hopefully in a second part, because the second part hasn't been greenlit yet. And yeah, but the story is the world building is great. The characters are very well thought of. The actors give a really great job performing the lines and being the characters, and the stakes are high. It's a really good plot so far. The only one complaint I'll have is not really a complaint, but I just hope that there's a part 2, because as good as this was, if there's not a part 2, it would really be bittersweet, and I probably wouldn't look at the movie as much as I did again. I've seen a lot of reviewers say the same thing that I'm about to say, that the movie really feels like an introduction of some sort. It doesn't really feel like a one act, second act, third act movie. It feels like a long one act leading into the second act. And that's exactly how it feels. And I want the movie to be successful, because if it's not successful, then part 2 probably will never happen. And I really want part 2 to happen, because the way it finished off, a character says one thing that kind of was in my mind. They said, it's just the beginning. And it's just the beginning. The way it ended, everything was just going all at once. It's just, part 2 needs to happen. That's like the only complaint. If there's not a part 2, if the box office, I've already seen a lot of records. They say it got like 40 million at the box office this first week, and that's really good. I hope they keep it up as it goes along. I really do, because please have a part 2. Please. Greenlit part 2. Warner Brothers, greenlit part 2. Please. For the love of God. Please. Dune is a sci-fi epic that just seems to be scratching off the top of the surface when it comes to its storytelling, and I really want to see what happens next with the world building and with the story and how it turns out, because as it's seen in the film, in the first film, it seems that it's building up to something even greater, which is why I hope part 2 does come out. But until part 2 comes out, my verdict for Dune 2021 will be diamond status. Villeneuve. His name is Denis Villeneuve. I'm so stupid. Oh, it's been such a long time since I've actually done a movie review, which is actually really surreal. And I miss it. I miss doing movie reviews. I miss talking in front of a camera about things that I really enjoy. And I hope that this movie review is shorter than the ones that I've done previously. I try to do things as short as I can. And I'm in the editing process right now. I don't know if I'll do a lot of editing for this video, because I have a lot of schoolwork to do, but I can make it work. Thank you for watching this video. If you've gotten this far into the end of the video, I really appreciate you all. I love you all, and I hope you all are doing well during these last few months of 2021. I might do something before October ends, because it is spooky month. It is Spooktober, and I want to do something horror movie wise, do a little horror retrospective. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But we'll see. But until then, I hope you guys are doing well. Make sure to slap the like button if you haven't already. And if you enjoyed this video, subscribe if you haven't. And hit the notification bell on the side to get future notifications on videos in the near future. Support, that's always good to do. Support, it would really be I would really appreciate it. But that's all I have. Have a great day or night, moviegoers. This is the Movie Critic, and that's a wrap.